Two matches tonight. Sportia Stream is live, and you're watching us here for Rocket League action, part of the Cross Progression League Alpha and Omega 2v2 regular season. Week 7 still underway. Playoff spots still to be determined, and both matches tonight we may see teams qualify for a spot in the final bracket. It's gonna be an exciting night. It's gonna be a lot of exciting action, and there could be some heartbreak, could be some excitement, could be everything in between. So you're joining us here for some great action this evening. This is what our schedule looks like today. We've got Kozmosis Esports versus Ceiling Demons first, but in the Liminal division, we'll move to the Challenger division after this with the bobertsaucegods and NES Dark. And again, both these matches have playoff spots on the line to be played. So a lot to look at, a lot to play for, and a lot that you can work with here. It'll be an interesting night. We'll take you to our first match here, again, the Liminal matchup. Kozmosis Esports, Ceiling Demon. Now, if you all were here maybe a few days ago, I think it was on Tuesday. I actually talked about this matchup. Was it on Tuesday? No, it was on Tuesday with the Big Bubble Lover and Makeshift Elite matchup there. That matchup, obviously, we got to see. Pretty exciting one as well. Went to 4 games. Ended in favor of of Big Bubble Lover. Taking on Makeshift Elite here. So, you've already kind of heard me talk about how this Kozmosis Esports Ceiling Demons match is important there. But for all of you who don't know, this is what the group looks like right now. Including the Week 7 result, I believe, for these teams. Yeah, it is. There we go. There's the Week 7 result for both these teams. So Makeshift Elite is out. They're not in the running. Again, they had to win that match to get a chance to play for playoffs. Big Bubble Lover hasn't guaranteed their spot just yet. They are waiting. I mentioned before, they're waiting on results. Well, this is the result they're waiting on here. Is Kozmosis Esports versus Ceiling Demons. Ceiling Demons also out. They have no chance to make playoffs anymore. This is their last match of the regular season. But for Kozmosis Esports, this match matters. See, the top 4 teams of this group will be in the final bracket. It'll be a 12-team final bracket. So the top 4 teams of this group will be in the final bracket. Scrubster's Domain, Spartan Storm, and SP Winter X Elites all guaranteed their spots. They have nothing to worry about anymore. All of their spots are secured. That 4th spot is not, though. If Kozmosis Esports wins, they're in. 3-3 record, there's no chance that the Big Bubble Lover will catch up to them. Again, they've already played all their matches. So Kozmosis Esports will have a better record than Big Bubble Lover and will be in no matter what the game differential is. If they lose, they're out. Their game differential will be the tiebreaker. And because Kozmosis Esports have not had nearly as many close results this season, they would be out of the tournament here. So they have a lot to play for at this point. As well here for Kozmosis Esports. And that's mostly due to the fact that the 2 wins they had, both in Week 1 and Week 2 against Makeshift Elite and Big Bubble Lover, went to Game 5, whereas Big Bubble Lover and Makeshift Elite, well, Big Bubble Lover specifically, had a lot of more dominant wins in their season. I mean, their last 2 weeks were a 3-0 and a 3-1. So, against Makeshift Elite, it was shorter. Against, again, the Ceiling Demons team, it was better for them. But, of course, for Kozmosis Esports, it's win and go to playoffs. It's lose and be out. So, the season for Big Bubble Lover also resting on this matchup here. Now, Kozmosis Esports actually have some recognizable names here. Sonoda and Caden, we've had on stream before. Those are not unknown names to me. We've seen them in the Ascent Tournament Series. Caden won the Ascent Tournament Series as well. Sonoda was one of the original players as well, so really fun to see them here. As well, of course, with Cholo and EFXD. For Ceiling Demons, Deathroop, Signer, and Raccoon. Under that again, for Ceiling Demons, they have nothing to play for here. There's no pressure on them. They cannot make playoffs. So at this point, they're just playing to end out their season. But again, for Kozmosis Esports, this is a whole lot more important for them. It's playoffs on the line. As we are going to get these players going. Again, this is our first of 2 matches tonight. Both these matches do have playoff results. This one, though, we're guaranteed to see a team guarantee a spot and a team lose their spot because of this result. This is it. The end of playoffs here in Group C. This is going to be huge for both these teams. I can't wait to see what we're going to have in store. But again, it will be Kozmosis Esports on the blue. Ceiling Demons on the orange here. And for Kozmosis Esports, this determines if they go to the postseason or if they will be watching from the sidelines. Big Bubble Lover also paying close attention to this result because this determines the rest of their season if they will be in the top 12. All to play for Kozmosis Esports. And the benefit for them is Ceiling Demons struggled this season. 0-5, haven't won yet. So you have to imagine things are looking good for Kozmosis Esports. Still, they must get this win. Kaden and Sonoda already with a strong start, 1 goal up inside the first 20 seconds. Again, if you are a big bubble lover, you're maybe hoping for something close to like a miracle here to happen again for a Sealing Demons team that has struggled this season. Kozmosis Esports, who did beat both Makeshift Elite and Big Bubble Lover to get to this point that they are at, they thoroughly deserve this favoritism in the final week, but being the fact that they beat the two teams that are also were competing with them for that final spot in playoffs. Of course, Kozmosis Esports do still need this win. And we'll see if that puts an effect on this team. This final week can be, honestly, in some ways scarier and more nervous than the regular season can be. Sorry, not the playoffs can be. Because so much of a team's season is resting on being in playoffs. There's honestly, in ways, more pressures as well. Every situation where you need to perform well, because again, so many teams have their season rely on if they make playoffs or not. Again, a lot of these teams that are maybe not doing as well came into the season maybe not expecting themselves to win. A lot of these teams are lower ranked in this Liminal division, which is GC1, GC2. They're coming into this thing maybe just trying to play to just be in playoffs, to be a competitive team. So easy to be forgotten if you don't make the postseason. A lot to play for, and reminder, it is top 12 double elimination bracket, so the way that final bracket will work is I believe the top 4 seeds will get a bye. And as well, so they're not playing for a bye, they're just playing for a spot in the final bracket. Again, so much to play for here. And Sealing Demons, who have tied this game up, looking to be competitive. I will say, though, these rotations from them have been very, very wide. They don't have a lot of boost. That is off the line and out. Death Troop just gets there. Kozmosis Esports doing a really good job at just playing one-on-one. There's been a lot of space given to them. And if you're given this kind of room, you take it. You have to play the one-on-one game. Again, that's, I think, where Sealing Demons seem to struggle, is one-on-one, as Sonoda, just by Death Troop, will be Segnir up to Death Troop. That is wide of the net. Kaden will take the ball here. Again, both players who were on the stream in the Ascent Tournament Series. Kaden, who actually won a season of the Ascent Tournament Series back when I ran that. As they're looking for a chance, that goes wide, and there's nobody home for Kozmosis Esports. Sealing Demons, I had a bit of a conversation on who would want that one. They haven't played it very well. The quality there for Sealing Demons just not there right now. They may have this game even, but they are walking on thin ice with the way that they're performing. One crucial mistake, and that net is open from them. Sort of walking they're bouncing the tightrope here of staying in this game and not. The fact of the matter is that Kozmosis Esports haven't really been that clinical on their shooting. They're going to need to be, if they are to take this win. The closer this game is, the more you think it puts some confidence in Sealing Demons that they could just get one. Reset! Oh my! What a shot from Death Troop! Well, as his name suggests, a deft flip reset touch. And the closer this game stood, you knew it favored the Sealing Demons. All they need is one good chance. And they have the lead in this game. Sonoda. Waiting back is Death Troop. Sonoda again, though. Dribble towards the nets. Answer from Kozmosis Esports. It takes a special sort of calmness to be able to go down by one in a game like this, in a match that should be yours to win. And to be able to find a goal back almost immediately. That is the sort of mentality that so many players lack at this level, is that ability to be calm under pressure. Oh, Sonoda has brought that and brought the house down. Sealing Demons' lead has been removed. Death Troop. Be able to get much there. We'll keep the ball moving. Kaden the challenge. Go is Kaden. Sends it away. Death Troop doesn't connect well on this, so it will be Kozmosis Esports ball. As Sonoda gonna go in front of the net. It will be pitched backwards, and well, it will be Kaden's place to work, but Again, this game has been eerily close. Kozmosis Esports, again, just not able to finish up these chances. Ceiling Demons have given them a lot of space. If you're Kozmosis Esports, you need to take these chances. They'll take one here with Sonoda. He's got a hat trick this game. Really, all the important job here is the one from Kaden. Kozmosis Esports, I have to imagine, are starting to realize that Ceiling Demons are giving them a lot of room to work with. And when you're given that kind of space, you need to take it. Kozmosis Esports have taken the lead in the final minutes. And with a win here, they would be only 2 away from guaranteeing their spot in the postseason and eliminating Big Bubble Lover from the tournament. A division that has ended up being quite close. That's off the post. Ceiling Demons with a surprise shot, if you will. It's Kaden on another demo. Look at all this room for Sonoda. He can take his time with this. Won't get through Death Troop, though. Ooh, really jumped early on that. I didn't like that pre-jump, but I do like this. Dribble to the back wall. Will be stopped short. Segner. Will challenge again. A demo on Death Troop removes him from the options, and this should be Kozmosis Esports ball. In fact, they're taking it all the way back. Segner looking to keep things up for Death Troop. Sonoda won't let him. And Kozmosis Esports will take game 1. 2 wins away from a spot in the final bracket. A game that, if you are Kozmosis Esports, was far closer than you ever wanted it to be. Game 2 is moments away, but the Ceiling Demons keeping things close, and if you're Kozmosis Esports, you gotta do 2 things better in this next game if you want to take this series. For one, you gotta recognize how much space there is. This Ceiling Demons team is giving you a lot of space to work, and you started to see that by the end of the game with all the demos that were thrown in. But it also means taking dribbles. Relying on your individual ability to play one-on-one. There are definitely players that, at least from my experience, I know can win one-on-one. They gotta show that here. Because it's absolutely something that can work for them. Other than that, it's also just keeping your nerve, playing well under pressure. In a high-stakes matchup, oftentimes the team that wins isn't necessarily the better team by skill. It's just the better team considering the circumstances and the high-pressure situation. Gotta be able to handle that stress as Segner did stop moving. We may have had a disconnect here. Fortunately, I think we're gonna have to keep on moving here. Hopefully, Ceiling Demons can fix their issues. As I think they're back. Yeah, they're back, alright. Maybe a technical issue for Segner, but it is goal for Kozmosis Esports, and they're not done yet. They're looking for another. Poor shot from Kaden, though. Believe the play for Death Troop. Bumped out by Kaden. Sonoda. This back wall will be able to get a second touch, and this is an open net for Segner. Doesn't take it very well. And really what should have been the tying goal there for Ceiling Demons, a missed opportunity. And at this point, they're just playing for pride. They're just hoping to get a win this season. Unfortunately, Kozmosis Esports is not giving them that opportunity easily. It's Sonoda waiting for Kaden to go for the bump, and again, there's that bump for Kozmosis Esports. They've gone for it a couple times in open space. And Ceiling Demons haven't really changed all that much going into Game 2. If they are to win this series, they're going to have to start realizing where this Kozmosis Esports team is beating them. And again, that is in open room, 2-on-1. Oh, that's an odd play from Death Troop. He may regret that decision. Oh, he absolutely will. An easy one for Sonoda. In the span of less than 90 seconds, Kozmosis Esports have already, I believe, equaled the goal scoring tally they had of last game. But that is a poor choice from Death Troop. He cut out his own teammate. Segner had an easy play there. Death Troop panicked and forced him to call it off, and that makes it all too easy. Sonoda with a hat trick. Again, in less than 90 seconds when last game, it took him almost the entire 5 minutes to do the same. You're getting the impression that Kozmosis Esports a whole lot more comfortable now, realizing that this Ceiling Demons team really is giving them a lot of room to work with. You Ceiling Demons, you gotta find a way to cut down that space. This is just becoming far too easy for Kozmosis, as Sonoda trying to find Kaden. Will be left up for Death Troop, who gives it away. Poor touch from Kaden, but to it is Sonoda, who isn't looking to let Ceiling Demons have a shot. It's Caden again. Wait, didn't read that one correctly. Noda. Pinched back by Death Troop. Oh, he's missed the net. Well, a wide open chance for Death Troop. I'm sure he'd like that one back. It was an open net. And Sealing Demons have struggled to hit the target when they did get chances. They haven't had many this game, but they've missed the chances that they have gotten. As another demo will be another goal. Will be a 4-0 lead for Kozmosis Esports. It's getting ugly now. Tegner, the only one really back in support, demoed away. Kozmosis Esports are going to make Big Bubble Lover really regret their poor start to the season that they had. Again, including a loss to Kozmosis Esports. As it's another one in, Sonoda makes it 5-0. And Kozmosis Esports, we're only halfway through this game. This is becoming quite the celebration of goals. Simply put, the sheer volume here, telling you exactly how Kozmosis Esports felt about Game 1. They have completely turned it around. They've made this a whole lot more dominant. Really tough to watch if you are the Sealing Demons. Although I don't know if Kozmosis Esports is really done yet. There's still 2 minutes in this game. Fortunately for the Sealing Demons, they're gonna have to play all 2 of these minutes, it seems. And, man, I don't know what Kozmosis Esports are gonna do, but they could make it worse. Well, that's not gonna help them. Wide open net, and this time, Sealing Demons will take it. A goal back. A bit of a gimme from Kozmosis Esports, who may have gotten a little too confident. Reminder that there is a playoff spot on the line here for Kozmosis Esports in a series victory, so they can't get too overconfident. As we're gonna get a pause here. As well, we had a disconnect in between goals, so we'll get a quick pause. We'll wait a little longer, and we'll let them recover here while we wait. But this game is gonna continue momentarily. Oh, as we may have lost connection entirely with Sonoda. As we'll wait a little bit longer here, we're going to go quickly to the caster screen so that I can talk with the players while we wait, and so that you don't have to see this pause screen. You get to see me instead. Right, the true star of the show. Me, my face. We'll wait a little bit longer here while we're at it. We'll wait a little bit longer here. We'll see what these teams decide on. Of course, we can start the game over again because of the disconnect. I do want to... It does seem like both these teams are more than willing to wait a little bit longer. Yeah, they said they want to wait, so we're going to wait a little bit longer here. Sealing Demons said they're happy to wait for Kozmosis Esports. Obviously, as you guys saw in chat, they had a disconnect with Sonoda. Both teams did call that they want to pause this, so we're going to wait a little bit longer while we do, for hopefully Sonoda to recover. But yeah, this is a bit of an awkward situation for Kozmosis Esports. Now, we'll wait. These players did call for it, so we'll wait a little bit longer. We'll see what happens here, but this is a concerning sign for Kozmosis. Now, they do have a sub. They actually have 2 on the... Well, they have 4 players on their roster, so they do have other players that they could, in theory, sub in and Cholo it. FXD? EFXD? It's probably FXD. Or FXD. You never know with people. But we'll wait. We'll see what's happening here, and we'll hopefully, get a we'll hopefully get a good answer, I should say. Not a better answer, a good answer. for when Sonoda returns. Now, the thing is, we cannot sub in a player mid-game, too. Alright, Sonoda's back. Good. I was gonna say, if Sonoda had fully disconnected and couldn't return, it would be a 1-on-2 for Kozmosis Esports for the rest of this game. But Sonoda seems to be back. And we will continue this game onward. So, here we go. We're back in. This screen will switch in just a moment. There we go. We're back in the game 2 here. Sonoda has returned. And Kozmosis Esports. Well, we'll see what they can do. Well, first of all, they haven't started out very well. In for Ceiling Demon, Segner will be more than happy to take this one, as Caden didn't really play his positioning well here, just holding out on the corner when you really should be going towards net and challenging the other way around. You see this happen so much at this rank level. Players trying to shadow defend their net from the corner when you really shouldn't do that. You should always turn around the other way. Well, I guess not always, but you really should turn around the other way and challenge head-on from your back corner. You just get a better angle doing that. Kozmosis Esports still have a 3-goal lead, and they can add to this as well. Sonoda, in fact, is looking to do it here. The reset fake will be left for Def Droop to clear. Aiden keeps it in. Kozmosis Esports, who have to recover a little bit from that disconnect. And still take game 2 here. Sonoda. Def Droop. Aiden demoed away. Ceiling Demons will have the ball. And, I mean, they're looking just for any goals late. That could be another one. It's just across the face of the goal there, but in a position that Segner could not get to. Kozmosis will be more than happy to take their time. As Sonoda. Oh, it's cleared right back, but everybody in for Ceiling Demons. Kozmosis Esports, I thought for a second Sonoda might have taken a shot there. Instead, he's going for the bump, and you know what? Good on him! Oh, it should have gone in. But at this point for Kozmosis, I think they kind of realize that they don't need to score anymore. They're just going to play for 50s, take this game slowly, and make sure the Ceiling Demons can't come back. And with a win here, they will now be 1 win away from guaranteeing a spot in the postseason in the top 12 of their group. Well, I said the top 4 of their group, the top 12 of their division, of their specific conference, in the top 24 of their division. Remember that every division, except for Awakening, and I believe whatever the highest one is, Transcendent, is what it's called. Every division except for Awakening and... Oh, sorry, Awakening, Progressive, and Transcendent all have double divisions. So Liminal and Challenger both have 2 conferences in each division, meaning that each conference has a 12-team final bracket, with the winners playing in each other at the very end, so it would be a 24-team bracket. We'll go to game 3 here. But for Kozmosis Esports, I think they can feel the playoff spot right now. It's almost in their grasps. They just need to hold out for 1 more game. Win this game, win this series, they're in the playoffs, but they can do it here in this game in a 3-0 sweep fashion. Ceiling Demons, who are already out, just hoping for maybe 1 last hurrah. Well, they're off to a strong start! It's Def Droop with another flip reset. If there's been one thing that Ceiling Demons have done without really much problem, it's been flip resets from Def Droop. He's gone for those a ton, and every single time it seems like they work. Unfortunately, going for flip resets all the time isn't really a plan for success, but I don't think Def Droop really minds if it goes in. It's Caden. Good back by Def Droop. Kozmosis Esports down in this game, albeit I don't think they're going to feel too nervous about the situation, as they're going to just look for 1 back, and they may have almost found it there. Segner does get back in time, as Sonoda's going to bump them out. There'll be a lot of room for Caden. Sonoda up for the bump. Won't connect. It's Caden anyways! And it was such a difficult ask there of Def Droop. They did a really good job at avoiding the bump. Absolutely faked out Sonoda, but Caden came following through, and that was the major threat at the end of the day. Unable to stop that one. And Kozmosis Esports are 1 goal back, and they may have the lead here. That's off the post and wide from Kaden, who may have rushed his shot a little bit with the back pressure from the Ceiling Demons. And now he's got to be careful about the 2v1, as well to stop Death Troop and win the challenge that follows through. Sonoda maybe trying to get a piece of Segner. Does connect on the follow through. Oh, it's a poor touch from Kaden, who is going to need to get back quickly just to not let a shot go through. Sonoda. Second touch is straight to Segner, who takes his time on this. Oh, it's a great fake, but nothing more. Kozmosis Esports, a team that I thought coming in the series might be very nervous. They looked nervous in Game 1 with their lack of scoring, and it feels like their lack of aggression. Game 2, and so far in Game 3, they have looked very comfortable. I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that they're playing the exact game they want to do here. One-on-one, open room. Fortunately for the Ceiling Demons, I think they play into a lot of team strengths, which is open space work. Well, of course, this game is close, and Ceiling Demons do have a chance to come back in. There's another demo, though. They're going to respawn well. Segner will need the challenge. It'll be Sonoda now. Off the back wall. He can read this if he wants to. He will go with a poor effort. And a bit of a lack of accuracy here from Kozmosis Esports, keeping this game a little bit closer than they'd want it to be. Still tied at 1. If they can just hit 1 or 2 of these more difficult shots, you'd think surely they would book their ticket to the final bracket. That hasn't been so certain and so true right now. Sonoda did miss that boost. Will have a very tough play to make. Oh, he still makes it, though. And the Ceiling Demons ran into each other. Open backfield to work with if you're Kaden. Around the back wall. I think he was looking for Sonoda, who is coming up a ceiling. My goodness, where on earth was Sonoda there? Well, he'll wait. Maybe a little too long. Save away. Follow-up shot. That's gonna find goal. And the Ceiling Demons only keeping their hopes of a series win alive, but the hopes of that the big bubble lover side can be in the final brackets. Two minutes left. They take the lead. Not for the first time this series, but in a game that, coming into this thing, you had questions about what they could do. It's Kaden. Segner. Sonoda. Light touch. The Kozmosis Esports side that looked so strong on offense last game has been unable to really score easily this game. One-on-one, they haven't been nearly as strong. And again, it's been far too close. As a great challenge from Kaden. Nobody back. It is wide open for Sonoda. He's had a hat-trick in both of the 2 games played so far. He'll get his first here with only a minute left in Game 3. One minute to go. Kozmosis Esports looking for another. They can take their spot in the playoffs with 1 more goal, and you'd imagine that if they are to be the ones that score next, that might just be, that would spell disaster for the Ceiling Demons. Sonoda, he's got Kaden! He's got Ceiling Demons all crashing around him. Here we go the other way. Kaden, back to Sonoda, who maybe could have left that on the back wall, and so he'll take it up to the air quickly. Gets by 1. 1 left in Segner. One-on-one with Kaden! Shot is weak! Oh, it's a fake on the goal line! Kozmosis Esports have they guaranteed a spot in the postseason with that. Kaden fakes out Segner. And will that mark playoffs for Kozmosis? Sonoda. Well, he could have added insurance there. I'm surprised he doesn't go at the net with that. Instead he'll go to his own half of the field and fighting the pressure from the Ceiling Demons. Especially they'll be more than happy to take. Death Troop doesn't get the second touch, however. Kept in the air by Kaden. In for Sonoda and Insurance in Game 3. With 15 seconds left, Kozmosis Esports adding maybe the cherry on top of a 3-game series. Aiden. Another one. Sonoda did go for it. Won't find it though, as he'll get the bump instead. Kozmosis Esports will let the time run out. A spot in the postseason guaranteed for them. Their season continues. For Big Bubble Lover, it ends on a 3-game series win from Kozmosis Esports. So they will jump past the Big Bubble Lover and take their spot in playoffs. 3 games straight for Kozmosis Esports. And they will be here next week for more action. For Sealing Demons, a season without a win. Hopefully they'll be back next time and be able to perform a little bit better, maybe be a little bit better. Unfortunately for them, a difficult season, but Kozmosis Esports, they'll be the team celebrating today. It's their spot in the playoffs guaranteed. And maybe a series that looked a bit nervous here for Kozmosis Esports. Maybe a bit closer than they wanted to as well. Well, what a first series of the night here. May have been quick. Again, a playoff spot guaranteed with that. We'll take a look at our schedule here and show you what we have next. It's bobertsaucegods and NES Dark. NES Dark, actually, a team in this position that is looking to try to guarantee their spot in playoffs with a win. A loss, I believe, doesn't eliminate them, though, so it'll be a little different. A loss here will mean that they still have a chance, albeit a slim one. You would rely on Revival losing, who... let's take a look. Who are they playing against? Revival. They're playing against Dynasty Worms. A team that's actually also 3-2 as well. So NES Dark have a couple situations where they can make playoffs even if they do lose. But a win will guarantee a spot in playoffs. For now, though, that will end our first series of the day. A 3-0 sweep. A win that they'll be more than happy to take. And of course, playoffs guaranteed for Kozmosis Esports. Next up will be bobertsaucegods versus NES Dark. I'm sure an exciting match as well. That will be in the Challengers division. But again, something you will probably not want to be missing. So I think we're going to go on a quick break here. When we come back, we'll have another match for you. For NES Dark, a spot in playoffs could be guaranteed with a win here. We'll be back soon, though, with our last match of Thursday night.
version
Welcome back to the Sportiest stream. Welcome back to Cross Progression League 2v2 action. Welcome back to the Sportiest stream. Oh my goodness, I have one moment. There we go. Apologies for that. I had my stream playback running. Well, we're good here. We're good to go. We've got our next match coming up here. We'll see what our schedule looks like though. What we had earlier today, Kozmosis Esports 3-0 sweep over Ceiling Demons to guarantee themselves a spot in playoffs. Now, another team can also guarantee their spot in playoffs here in our next match. bobertsaucegods versus NES Nebula Esports Dark. bobertsaucegods already guaranteed a spot in playoffs through their group. It is NES Dark who are looking to guarantee their spot with a win today. This is the last match of the season, so if NES Dark does not win, they'll have to hope for other factors to help them out. Now, here's what the group looks like here. This is in the Challengers Division, so top 4 teams do go to playoffs. And the way that things work for now, bobertsaucegods guarantee their spot. Of course, at this point, a win here would guarantee 2nd overall seed. So they're playing for something as well. They'd like to get this win just to guarantee that spot. Not drop down. A loss here could drop them down behind Dynasty Worms to 3rd. So that's always a possibility. But the worst they could do would be 3rd seed. And then Dynasty Worms do play against Revival. And that match also matters. Because for Dynasty Worms, their spot in playoffs can be guaranteed if they win that matchup. If they lose, there is a chance that Revival could surpass them. That would require a sweep from Revival to surpass Dynasty Worms. That'd be the only way they'd guarantee a spot. In playoffs would be a sweep, I believe. And then it would be tied on game differential, and you'd expect head-to-head to be the next tiebreaker, which would favor Revival. But for NES Dark, they can guarantee their spot with a win here. If they win, there is no chance that they can lose their spots, I believe. Yeah, they wouldn't be, because they could only, well, if they won by 3-2, there actually is a chance they could lose their spot. No, when did they play against Dynasty Worms? Okay, so they lost to Dynasty Worms. So actually, if they go 3-2, there actually is a chance they could lose their spot. If Revival wins? No. You know what? This is really confusing me. Anyways, NES Dark, I believe they can guarantee their spot with a win. It'd be 4. Oh, no, they could easily guarantee the spot because Revival can't surpass them. So if they win, they will guarantee the spot by record, not by game differential. Won't matter. Obviously, their spot with the battle they have Dynasty Worms. If they win, they can also potentially surpass Dynasty Worms. If they lose, they could still surpass them. It would require Revival to beat Dynasty Worms pretty handily. But anyways, again, all to say that if NES Dark wins, they guarantee a spot. That's the easiest part to say this. If they lose, they could be surpassed by Revival and lose their spot. So there's absolutely a possibility where that happens if they lose. So the thing about NES Dark's situation doesn't look bad for them, because Revival is in a pretty tough match against Dynasty Worms. And Dynasty Worms could still guarantee the spot with the win there. So a lot to play for here. But for NES Dark, they can guarantee a spot in playoffs with a win. And forget about any sort of the other technicalities here now. We'll see if they do get the win or not. We are moments away from getting into this best of 5. In fact, I think we are ready to go into this best of 5 here. So let's get things going here as well. And let's see this series underway. There we go. Let's get the players in the lobby. Let's get the series underway. bobertsaucegods on the blue. It is NES Dark on the orange. And a best of 5 series for bobertsaucegods. A win guarantees a spot as the 2nd overall seed in this group. For NES Dark, a win guarantees them a spot in playoffs. Both teams are going to be absolutely wanting to get this win for seeding and for a spot in the postseason. NES Dark has not guaranteed their position as they're going to look for the first goal here. It's Dr. Spaceman and Sea Cow on NES Dark with the first goal. Taking on Surfbaro and Sinidium here in this best of 5. And I'm sure, again, if NES Dark a win here would be huge for them. This is a match that, in theory, could be relatively close if NES Dark play well. But again, bobertsaucegods have only lost once this season. That's why they're the 2nd overall team in the group right now. But they'd like to keep it that way, because as much as better seeding doesn't matter as much, there actually is a pretty huge importance for being in that 2nd overall seed. The best 2nd overall seed is in the top 4 seeds and would get a bye in the 2nd round. Now, again, Again, they cannot get the number 1 overall seed in this group, I don't believe. I'd have to check on that, but I don't believe they can get number 1 overall seed. At the very least, guaranteed 2nd seed, and having a good series record and game differential, again, could mean that they get a bye into the 2nd round of playoffs. They would skip the 1st round of playoffs in the 12-team double elimination format, as that's going to be a goal for CCal. Linnea Stark isn't going to let them have that chance, as they'll make it 2-0 here in Game 1. Clearly not looking to leave anything up to chance. They're coming out hot. You gotta appreciate the fire that they have in this game already. It's not expected to be exactly an easy battle for them, but yeah, again, you want that advantage. And you definitely want playoffs if you're NES Stark. This game, in theory, would matter a lot more, at least in theory, for them than it would for bobertsaucegods. Got a bobertsaucegods team who, yes, I have confirmed, can't make number 1 seed. The team that beat them, Spartan Shocked, did go 6-0, so no chance for them to surpass Spartan Shocked. Again, bobertsaucegods could hold a number 2 overall seed, then it would be between them and whoever else makes number 2 overall seed on who would get that good seeding. Because it does matter. I haven't checked fully if they actually can get it. I'd have to confirm a different way to see if they actually have a chance at it, but again, that may not matter all that much, considering what we're seeing right now. NES Stark, I mean, it matters a lot more for them. Again, a win puts them in playoffs, so they're off to a really good start. 3-0 already. You don't think they can get it? Yeah, I just checked. I don't think they can get it as well. I'm checking. Oh yeah, they can't get it, because ARG Esports have a game diff of +10, and bobertsaucegods only have +6, so they're just playing for number 2 seed in their group, which still matters, by the way. The better seeding, the easier matchups. You want that if you're bobertsaucegods. I don't think you want a tougher 1st round match, but this is about as bad of a start as they can get for. This is a good shot, though, from Synaidium. Maybe just a little bit of hope that they can stay in this one. Three minutes to go in this game. bobertsaucegods, desperate need of a goal. Well, they've been handed one here from NES Stark. A bit of a weird time for a clear there from Synaidium, but it's really on Dr. Spaceman there. That ball was sent right at him, and he needs to handle that better. Way too easy. And somehow, someway, bobertsaucegods have found a way back into this game. Synaidium with both goals. Oh, and NES Stark almost with another one. That's gonna ding off the post and wide, and now here goes a big clear from Surfaro. Off the back wall, will be left for Synaidium. Unable to get clean contact. Nebula Esports, at this point, looking to play a little bit more defensively, I would imagine, just trying to hold this 1-goal lead for a little bit longer and not give up anything more to bobertsaucegods. As Surfaro, off the back wall, will be sent away by CCal. And NES Stark. A tentative lead in Game 1. Again, with the kind of confidence we saw them bring into this series, it is already really good a really good sign for a team that, again, is pretty clearly the underdogs in this matchup. It will be cleared away by CCal. And he actually might be able to get a 2-goal lead. That was a pretty poor missed shot, though. Surfaro will send it back. bobertsaucegods will look to hold on to this play for a little bit longer. CCal off the back wall. Will be for Dr. Spaceman. No play there. CCal again. Surfaro, who doesn't make contact. Here's a great chance to score. It's in front for CCal. Oh, it's up the post. And wide. Oh, it was a well-played offense for NES Stark. Unable to put in the finishing touch. And bobertsaucegods get away with that one. On target again. This one's gonna find goal. Dr. Spaceman won't miss from there. And NES Stark on their 2nd straight chance will make sure this one counts for the good. One minute to play in Game 1. NES Dark now can feel a little more comfortable with the 2-goal lead. bobertsaucegods, who have been, let's just say, unable to really make consistent long-term offense, are going to need to work quickly here. As Servaro. We might just be able to get past both! A break in the defense! A rift, if you will! And Servaro, the wiser to it. 1 goal away from tying this game. bobertsaucegods in need of something good. That is not going to help them, though. Wide open for Dr. Spaceman. And the troubles for bobertsaucegods continue. "34 seconds. 2 goals down. They're really backing themselves into a corner here, and that kickoff's not going to help them. Dr. Spaceman goes right through the play from Sinidium. As this will be cleared away. NES Dark, though, with such a confidence-inducing start to this game. Just built off of that. bobertsaucegods, while they will keep things close, are unable to seemingly to break this deadlock. Cleared away by Dr. Spaceman. They'll stay on the challenge. Sin, Servaro there, but not enough time to come back. This game will end. NES Dark take the lead in the series. And for a team that winning this would guarantee a spot in playoffs, that's exactly what you want. Strong start for NES. Again, as I did come to find out during that game, because bobertsaucegods can't guarantee a number 4 seed in these groups. I say number 4 overall seed. Again, there's 12 teams total that make it to playoffs. They could be the number 4 overall seed. They can't anymore, obviously, with the game differential they have. But even then, go to game 2 here. Still, you can... I think from game 1, we really got to see which team wanted it more there. NES Dark just really wanted it. You could just feel... I don't know if you'd say the emotion they're playing with, because I didn't feel like it was an emotional performance, but it was definitely a confidence-inducing performance. They're gonna need to keep that. So much of this game is mental, that as long as you're able to keep a strong, confident demeanor, you can often find success that way, as very delayed from NES will be able to clear it, courtesy of Dr. Spaceman. In fact, they're going for the challenge, too. They have overcommit, so Seacow needs a good chance here. That's a complete giveaway. And bobertsaucegods, oh, they've hit the bar! It still goes in. Oh, that was a little scary. You don't blame Sin for going for this touch just to make sure it goes to the net, but they hit it a little high there. They almost missed the net. But a complete giveaway from Dr. Spaceman and Seacow, and that is a painful goal to give up this early. Oh, well, they didn't take long to respond, did they? As a bounce off the corner, Sin, who went all in for the boost there, unable to get it, cannot recover in time to stop Dr. Spaceman. And in the Challengers division, which I haven't mentioned right now, Challengers is Champ 1, the Champ 3 rank level. NES Stark. They'll play the challenge here. Will be Seacow. Off the back wall. I just noticed the overlay actually doesn't have the team record showing on it. I'll get that fixed for you all in a moment. For all of you who are maybe wondering, bobertsaucegods are 4-1. NES Dark is 3-2. An even game so far. Much better start for bobertsaucegods, who last game felt like they almost lost it in the first minute, you would feel. This game they've done a better job of keeping hold, but that is a quick counter. And Dr. Spaceman with 2 goals for NES Dark. Going right through Servaro, and Sin just doesn't have the boost. He needed more from Servaro. It'll be an easy one for Dr. Spaceman. And we'll fix the overlay after this game, whenever we get the chance to. As Spaceman. He's got options here. He'll play the dunk on Servaro. Seacow now. Maybe trying to lob it to the back wall for Panic, but that was not even close to the goal, so bobertsaucegods more than happy to just let it bounce. Now Servaro! Oh, what a strike! Top right corner! No chance to save it! I mean, Dr. Spaceman's not even in a bad spot. It's just a perfect shot. And bobertsaucegods clearly not looking to let this series end. Fall even worse for them. Still a lot of time in this game. Much more high scoring than the last series ended up being. And that was in a much higher ranked division. As Sin. On the dribble. Seacow waiting. Oh, we maybe got a little anxious on that. Dr. Spaceman won't collect. Seacow to clear. Liminal Esports chasing this game. They weren't really chasing much in game one. They are in this game, though. Just the way that things are playing. It's even. It's not to their liking. It's a close battle. One that will not take a strong start to win. This evenness was very much evident in game one as well, after the first minute and a half, you'd feel. Oh, that's a good chance! Saved away. Again, this evenness feels like what the series is trending towards. Someone's going to be the difference maker, though, and Dr. Spaceman, he won't be it there. As Sin gets in the way. Does have boost to go for another challenge, and that 50-50 really doesn't do him any justice. Up the back wall. I don't think Seacow realized that no one was challenging him on bobertsaucegods. He actually could have played delayed there. Oh, and Dr. Spaceman really should have played delayed. This is very easy for Servaro. Dr. Spaceman with a very poor decision. And you wonder if NES Dark got a bit antsy going for some of these challenges. That is a costly error in a game that really matters. In a series that could really end up being a difference maker. Reminder, Liminal Esports Dark have not guaranteed their spot in the postseason. They could lose it in this series, so there is no guarantees we'll be seeing them in the postseason. Well, chances favor them. You don't want to really test fate with results outside of your control. That could be 4-2. It will be 4-2. bobertsaucegods running away with things here as a whiff for Dr. Spaceman, who has now made who's led up to 2 straight goals with his mistakes. It sucks because like this mistake wasn't nearly as large, but errors like that are going to be capitalized in playoffs. It's unfortunately going to be capitalized here against a team that has been quite good this season. Ever since that really strong start that NES Dark have had in game one, they have not been able to pull away since, and now it's really getting worse for them. 3 goals straight for bobertsaucegods in a row, and it's just well, it hasn't gotten any better for Liminal Esports Dark. Game 2 is going to end where NES Dark are going to ask what happened. I wouldn't even say it was for a lack of confidence, but a lack of quality. bobertsaucegods have warmed up. They've acclimated to this series, and now NES Dark are going to need to find ways to play better. Quality just not the same. bobertsaucegods have definitely improved since game 1. They're showing you why they are as good as they have been this season. NES Dark have not been able to handle this change well. 30 seconds left. I think at this point, maybe all just a formality in game 2. NES Dark, I'm sure, would like to end off with at least something good, but it'll be quite the difficult situation for them here. Sin to clear. Miss for Dr. Spaceman. Will be left for Seacow. NES Dark just looking for something late. It will hit the post. It'll hit the post twice, actually. And off of Servaro. No shot there. Sin's just waiting. And that'll end game 2 a bit chaotically, but for bobertsaucegods. This series is all even now at 1 game each. Enable Esports Dark. Bit of a real kind of wake-up to reality situation for them here. A bobertsaucegods team that is playing like you would expect a team like this to play. So for NES Dark, they're going to need to adapt to this. They're going to need to play better to this now. Their strong start in Game 1, I think, came on to a bobertsaucegods team that wasn't fully there. Game's going to need to be a little better now. But we'll go into Game 3 momentarily. We are getting a call here that NES Dark are going to make us change here. So Dr. Spaceman has left. Effigy has joined. So they're already going into the substitutes here. That Game 2 was so bad for them that the change they're going to make here is a roster change. Well, we'll see what difference it makes here in Game 3. I finally got the time to update the overlay. And NES Dark, hoping that this change with FSG can do something to wake up this team in a match of need. Alas here puts their spot in the hands of the two teams around them in rankings. And that other match being played this week, Dynasty Worms versus Revival. I don't know if that match has been scheduled or played yet. But it's a huge match for NES Dark. If they don't win, they're not going to get a good start here. Whole lot of defense early. And this bobertsaucegods team just seems to keep putting the pressure on them. Well, it's another goal for Servaro. And boy, this change for NES Dark may have gone the wrong way they were hoping. Effigy tripped off the post. It was going to be a tough save regardless, but now it becomes impossible. And bobertsaucegods trying to lead their way to victory. Sin, Servaro, challenged by Seacow. Still playing it as Servaro. Up is Sin. It's gonna be 3-0 here. bobertsaucegods trying to run away with it here. And you wonder if there's anything in the minds of NES Dark playing right now. You wonder if there's anyone speaking for NES Dark at this point. Things have gone from bad, and now it's only getting worse. Boy, this has been the worst game for NES Dark so far today, and you can't even say it's all their own doing. Been an awful turn of events. And bobertsaucegods, who struggled in Game 1, found a resurgence in Game 2, are now in complete control in Game 3. Servaro, almost 5-0 there. It bounced off Sin. Good away by Effigy. NES Dark, hoping for maybe some good fortune. Seacow, Effigy, Sin. Kept off the corner. Will be for Servaro. He'll be demoed, but bobertsaucegods hold the lead and hold the control in this game. Liminal Esports are going to need to play extremely aggressive here. As Sin again. Through Effigy. Sin. Seacow sends it back. Servaro now. Seacow. Sin holds it. And he'll stay on it as well. This goes to Servaro. Well, it would have. He missed it. There's no one back. Oh, that should have been 5-0 for Sin. He missed the net completely, though. I don't think he realized just how open it really was. Liminal Esports, I think, may have all but given up on that position. Well, they've overcommit again here. This time it will go in their net. Well, they maybe got fortunate the first time. They will not get fortunate the second. bobertsaucegods do take advantage of the NES Dark overcommit. In the last week of the regular season. Pressure mounting for Nebula Esports Dark. As Servaro challenged by Seacow. Sin to clear. Effigy, who subbed into this game, he's not been able to make the difference that Nebula Esports were hoping for. In fact, bobertsaucegods have been even better to repel Nebula Esports. They've gotten better and better, and Nebula Esports Dark have not been able to improve at the same rate. Still no goals this game for NES Dark. It has not been pretty. In this deciding game, you have to imagine this game could likely determine who wins that series, and with the dominance that we're seeing from bobertsaucegods, you feel even more confident that this game likely switches the favor of the series. As Seacow. Servaro. Effigy to clear. Servaro on the challenge. Gonna take the ball to Seacow, but he'll be sent away. Still Seacow on it. It's gonna be left for Effigy. It's off the back wall. He maybe rushed it a bit too early. But it's not been a good game for Effigy. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if NES Dark maybe sub him out in the future. I mean, he's just had an awkward game, one that's been unsuccessful. Again, for being the player who needs to be the difference maker, there's a lot of pressure on you. He has been unable to do that. Well, he will get a goal here. You have to imagine it's a little too late for an NES Dark. They haven't had a lot of chances this game, and the ones that they have had, they've missed, so... bobertsaucegods with a monstrous lead late. Well, they may add to it as well. They will. It's in. And it just, I don't know what to say. This has not been the close game I was expecting. I mean, this series told me... This series, with the way it started in these first two games, told me it was going to be close. This has been absolutely all bobertsaucegods. And they've already secured a spot in playoffs. Of course, they can play for good seeding. Not only that, it's confidence that can come into a series, that can come from a series like this. Sure, there's an NES Dark team that hasn't exactly been great this season. They've struggled to be at the top of the division. But for bobertsaucegods, I don't know if you really think about that going to the playoffs. A win's a win, and a win this dominant is a win that you're gonna feel comfortable in. This is the point of the season where you start to really pick like who you want to play with, what you want to do, and kind of how you want to perform. bobertsaucegods with a capitalizing Game 3 victory. And now one away from taking the series. We'll get a Game 4 momentarily. As there is the sub, Effigy leaving. He had a... Well, let's just say it was not a good game from Effigy. He wasn't the difference that NES Dark needed. And they're going to bring back in Dr. Spaceman. So going right back to the duo that started this series. Hoping to see if they can extend the match a little longer. You feel bad for Effigy because it was put in such a tough position. Subbed in, hoping to make a huge difference. Essentially turn this whole series around. That's so tough to put on one player to do. Fortunately unable to rise to the occasion tonight. Dr. Spaceman will sub back in, along with Seacow, and we'll see whether or not the duo again that started this series can find a way to extend it one game more. The longer the series goes, the better the game differential is going to be, you'd have to imagine. But now they must win 2 games straight if they are to take the match. bobertsaucegods look pretty keen to not let that happen. Essenitium. Ooh, did not play that well. It's Seacow to the back wall. Dr. Spaceman will jump in, maybe a bit prematurely, but... And yeah, Stark would love to have that first goal, something to turn their spirits around from what was a game 3 where it never really felt like they were in it. As Sin. Trying to find Surf Varro, maybe. It was a little bit lost in translation there. And yeah, Stark. Oh, they overcommit! Well, this was something that we noticed before with Dr. Spaceman, that he often hesitates to challenge. Well, he's done it again here. And being the last player back, you just cannot go for a challenge that you're not confident in. It's a big no. You just can't do it. That's what happens. Even if he does that challenge, there's a player right behind the 50-50 that any Stark aren't prepared for. Well, we've seen this before from Dr. Spaceman, that hesitation. That's going to be something that you do not want to make a habit as the season goes on. If the season goes on for any Stark, that is. As Sin. Play the 50-50 on Seacow. All bouncing up for Dr. Spaceman. He'll take it away. Dribble to the back wall. Seacow missed his chance. He will stay with it, though. Well played, just keep the ball in possession, but Dr. Spaceman got bumps. It will be back in the orange half of the field. Sin. Ooh, what an awkward-looking bounce for Seacow. On it is Surf Varro. And Sin will just play patiently here. It's a bit of an odd-looking play. It still falls through. As Surf Varro. Trying to maybe get one through. Dr. Spaceman won't connect. It's Sin now. Who will go up for this. Almost got the beat. It's been a long time in this game with only 1 goal. bobertsaucegods do hold the lead, but Any Stark has done a much better job at repelling them. As here goes Seacow, maybe to take one back. The 50-50 won't even be played. He just gets all of it. And Seacow, who has been in every game so far this series for NES Star, comes up huge. Three minutes to play. NES Stark. Hoping for a little more good news. That won't help him. Off the post and out. Surf Varro in the net. Well, it was already a tough play initially for NES Dark, double committing on defense. Surf Varro with the smart decision just to make the shot slow. He knows that NES Dark is panicking. They're gonna rush that save. They have to. A slow shot there, absolutely the right call. And NES Dark right back to being down 1 again. In a much closer game. They're hoping that, unlike Game 2, they don't lose their nerve by the end of it. They'll have the time to play with. Dr. Spaceman. Towards Seacow! That is not even close to the net. I don't think he was ready to shoot from there. He'll just play the challenge. Surf Varro to the corner. Sin's already up with it. He can find an angle from here. It's an impressive shot, but not one that's going to beat Dr. Spaceman. He's now going to be careful not to get removed from the field. As Seacow. Still Seacow. Playing it is Seacow. Dr. Spaceman will jump in as well. He doesn't get a good connection on the 50-50, so this is going to be a tough play to make. NES Dark kind of out of position here. Off the back wall for Surf Varro. He doesn't hit the net. Maybe that was the intention there, just to play out, or outplay NES Dark. It is still bobertsaucegods possession, but not for long. Although that has taken a good amount of time off that clock. I mean, we're already only a minute and a half left in this game, and that time is still ticking for NES Dark. Lowest scoring game so far this series, as long as things stay this way. Maybe the Esports needs something. There's Dr. Spaceman. outplay bobertsaucegods for Seekow, who has the one and only goal this game so far for NES. He's looking for the bomb. Dr. Spaceman won't connect. And what a terrible recovery! Oh man, Sir Barrow, I don't think he realized that it was open for him there. Seekow failed to recover. I don't know what that was from him. It was an awful looking flick. He's going to be very thankful that that doesn't go in against him. And now he can take his chance here. One-on-one with the net. It's off the back wall. It's cleared away. As it will be Sin and bobertsaucegods up by 2 now. Heavily Esports forced to commit heavily. It will go in against them. He's looking for the raid here. Fates, I see you in chat. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're doing well. You're joining us here for what might be the end of this series between bobertsaucegods and NES Dark. 2 goals up for bobertsaucegods and on match point with only 30 seconds to play. Heavily Esports in desperate need of some goals. Servaro. Seekow clears it back. Will still be Seekow, who will play it to the net. This one will stay wide. Follow-up shot is kept away by the flying Servaro. Only 10 seconds left here. NES Dark need to work quickly. Up the corner. Seekow needs this. It's played. Oh, it's missed. Dr. Spaceman didn't connect. That'll end this series. bobertsaucegods guarantee the number 2 overall seed in their group. As for NES Dark, unable to get the win in Week 7. Change in Game 4 was the right one, just not enough. That'll be extremely painful, you have to imagine, if you're NES Dark, but for bobertsaucegods, it ends the season with only 1 loss. I don't think they'll be unhappy with the way that things have gone here tonight. Oh, big win for bobertsaucegods. They will again be the number 2 overall team in their group, so that will end the night here for the Sportiest stream. Kozmosis Esports wins, bobertsaucegods wins. Our night ends here. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for being on this stream. It means a lot just to get to see all of this fun action, all of this great support, but will be it for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining the Sportiest stream, for watching all this action. I really appreciate it. That'll be it, though. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your night.